So this is my giant DIY roof rack that I designed and made on my own. Everything that went into making it you can get from Home Depot or Lowe's. It requires no welding to put together. I did need to use an angle grinder. Besides that, it's all just bolts and some bending of metal. Nothing weird, nothing intimidating, I would say. The dimensions of it are 8 feet long by 5 feet wide, and it has an air dam here at the front. And this is a really big, really modular, really easy to make, I think pretty lightweight and cheap roof rack that you really can't find for a minivan like this. This is, I believe, the largest roof rack probably anyone has ever made, in particular for a minivan. You have an air dam at the front, which is probably like 16 inches deep here. It has pipe foam insulation going across, and this is what touches the top of the car. It blocks all the wind that would go through here and cause wind noise. So driving with it so far, I've noticed no added wind noise at all. Without the air dam, it does have wind noise, but with the air dam, nothing. The main components of this are black ABS plastic pipes and Unistrut beams. And the Unistrut beams are 14 gauge, so they're the slightly shorter beams. Oh, and none of this did not permanently damage the vehicle in any way. It's attached using all existing mounting points. So you can kind of see how the air dam works here. It's attached at the top here with like nearly 45-degree brackets, kind of like what you'd use for like rafters or something to connect two pieces together. It's a plate that I bent to be this angle, and it's screwed into this 2x4 here. These right here are braces that are holding this upward with some upward tension, basically. And underneath the blocks here is more of this foam pipe insulation. And then these blocks are resting on the part of the roof that isn't either part of this door or the ceiling. It's like a structural piece of the roof that I'll show you in detail. And so up front here, it has a lot of rigidity. You can lift it with a lot of pressure, but it's pretty much, if you're driving, this isn't gonna move. Here's what it looks like from the rear and from the side. And you can see some of the design here. These are all black ABS plastic pipes. They come in 10-foot lengths at Home Depot and Lowe's. So I cut them directly in half to make 5 feet pipes. They go across. This is the Unistrut. There's 3 Unistrut beams that go the length of the car, here, here, and on the end. And then there's 3 beams that go widthwise, here, here, and here. And then the black ABS plastic pipes are attached to the Unistrut with hose clamps that are under mounted here. So it's extremely aerodynamic. You've got no, like the top of this is completely flat. Super aerodynamic. I don't hear anything when I drive. Here's directly on the side of the vehicle. You can see how far it overhangs. I mean, it overhangs over the roof, but it's, you know, basically right in line with the width of the van. And if I get up closer, to make it more quiet when you're driving, I added spray foam insulation in the pipes there and then sawed it off at the end so that air can't go through there. And as you're driving, you would get like a a whistle without it, kind of like when you blow on the top of a glass. And then I painted it black. And you can see here, this is the end of one of the hose clamps. They're all undermounted, so the top here is completely flush. And then I tightened them to be just enough where it starts to squeeze the pipe into being not completely circular. Let's see if you can see that. Yeah. So see how it's a little squeezed there? I just set the torque at 6 on my drill and tightened them all to be the same. So one thing worth pointing out is here is the antenna of the Sienna that goes, it's directly in the center of the roof of the van, and it goes to about here. So my plastic pipes would hit it if they weren't perfectly offset to accommodate for it. And then you can also see how this Unistrut beam would hit it if I had the beam going directly down dead center of it. So I offset it by like 2 inches to the left here, just so that it won't interfere with this. And you know, it's pretty much even. It's 2 inches off center on a 5-foot span here. I could probably calculate how much weight this can support on a 2.5-foot span. But I don't know. I'm very confident it's fine. It's very sturdy. Here you can see it bounces a little, but it's not going anywhere. And anytime you would put load on this, it's going to be spread across multiple pipes, not just a single one. Here you can see one of the hose clamps that I haven't painted yet, and you can see how it's mounted underneath, so the part where you tighten it perfectly fits in that little pocket of the Unistrut, which is really nice. So even from down low, you have complete, like it's completely aerodynamic, I think. That little bolt right there is for a future project that I'm working on. And the main reason why I went with this type of a structure is because you have so much freedom after the fact to do whatever you want with it. I also made sure to not block off the sides fully. I could have had plywood going the full length, and most roof racks I would say have some sort of edge there, but without the edge I can have things hanging off in between these plastic pipes, which is what I plan on doing, and I just didn't see a need to seal it off. And there you can see what the spray foam looks like had I not painted it. So I got to paint that one. And that's what it looks like. Here is a better look at the Unistrut that goes widthwise. So there's 2 sets of safetiness for this to be attached there. You've got the bracket that goes like that, and that's screwed into the OEM mounting points for the OEM crossbars normally. That bracket is screwed into the car. Then the Unistrut is bolted down into that, and then the hose clamp goes around that to secure it even more. So let's say the bolt were to break that holds it into the roof rails, that would stop it from moving, and I would hopefully hear it and be able to replace the bolt without any permanent damage or the thing flying off. There's a better look at how it's connected. So I've got 3 of these Unistruts that are 5 feet going widthwise. They're bolted into the lengthwise Unistruts and bolted in right there as well. And then that's the hose clamp for added safety and making sure it'll stay together. Up here, I went with 2 pieces. You have 4 points total where you can use the OEM connection points on the inner edge of the OEM roof rail, because normally you would have a crossbar there and a crossbar there, and they're connected at 2 points at the base. So here's the spacing of them. They're about 6 inches apart from each other, and I could have done 4, one here, and then it would have been like one right here, but I didn't have enough of the brackets that I made that go on the inner edge there, and I just didn't think it was necessary. So I chose to have the furthest one back here be the one of these two that I use, and then I used both of these two. Here's a better look at how the air dam is attached. These are mounting plates that come at 45 degrees, but you could bend them to be whatever angle you want. So I made them, when I put this on, I had it slightly underbent, so it was a little more vertical. And then as I pushed it down and screwed these down, this kind of propped upward, giving me the perfect tension against the roof here. Here's a look at the sunroof placement underneath the roof rack. So you can still completely open the sunroof or crack it and have no issues. You can see there's nothing over it directly. And so I can still crack that at night for ventilation, which is something I normally do. It completely doesn't affect it. I mean, your view is going to be obstructed. That right there is my new antenna for my T-Mobile internet. I have it suctioned to the sunroof there. So I don't really plan on using the sunroof for visibility ever, so it doesn't really matter to me, but you can still use it just like you would had you not done this. And you can see it stops, the sunroof's about there, so that's how far the air dam goes further. So if you're driving down the road, this is what it would look like, my minivan going towards you. You can't really see anything behind it. It's just a clean surface from start to finish. And you could design this to be some cool design. You could put stickers up here. There's a lot you could do to make it look cooler up here. You could have a light bar. I'm not gonna ever do that because wiring, I'd have to have wires go into the car somehow. So I'm just gonna probably leave it like this, or maybe some stickers or a cool paint design, but I think it looks pretty clean like this. It perfectly matches the width of the body, so it looks pretty legit. It looks like one of those Prinsu roof racks. Yeah. So what's so cool about this is I can mount anything I want, basically. With these black plastic pipes, you could get U brackets and put them like this and mount something onto them. Or I can mount something to the Unistrut, which there's a ton of Unistrut has been around for forever, used for electrical conduit mounting and plumbing mounting. So there's a ton of attachment things that they make specifically for Unistrut to fit in this channel here. So I could undermount something here. I could latch something around here. So one thing I plan on doing is having, what are they called? Ratchet straps going across, and they will hook in right here and then hold anything down. So I have total side-to-side mounting capabilities, and then also each plastic pipe could hold something, or the Unistrut beams that are going widthwise. So I plan on having a canopy system that will go off the side here. I'll have my Thule roof box up at the upper right-hand side, and probably my bike either laying flat or upwards. But I have 40 square feet of roof tie down points, basically, or connection points. You could straight up connect something to the Unistrut. It's really amazing. This has to be the biggest roof rack anyone has built. 8 feet long, 5 feet wide. Yeah. So the main, the strength of this is not evenly distributed necessarily. You've got downward connection points here, here, and here, and they are about 8 inches off of the edges, which is kind of nice. So like this edge here is going to be super strong, and then in between there and the middle unistrut is probably like 1.5 feet roughly of span, and the unistrut going lengthwise in the middle is held together by 3 unistrut pieces. So there's never any like everything is done in 3s here, so there's no ability for it to slightly get off kilter. Like if it were just 2, if I just had 2 going widthwise and 2 going lengthwise, the whole thing could kind of shift. That's possible. The design is, you have 3 connection points for every unistrut beam, so it's extremely strong and rigid. Another thing that I plan on doing is my canopy system is going to be made out of these pipes, and to store these pipes, they're going to be undermounted under here and tied up or something to the other plastic pipes, so I can slide things underneath here. You could have a fishing pole and you could have it go underneath, and then you could support it underneath. You could do pretty much anything with this. And here's another look at that. Here's another look at that little, what the channel looks like. There's all sorts of things you can do with it. And then here are the slots. These slots are every 2 inches. And to connect the hose clamps, basically you can see here's 2 slots. Underneath there is a spot like this. So the hose clamp goes around this and then over the pipe. So really there's no, like the pipe, and it's so thin here that it's basically just around a circular object, this hose clamp. So you don't have any like hard edges of the hose clamp. It's going to be pretty much as strong as you could possibly have it be, because it's just wrapping around this like that. And then for the placement of the pipes, I tried to do every 3 slots. I would put another one on the next one, but it didn't always work out perfect. So you can see these 2 are closer together than those 2. It's not perfect, but for the most part, they're all going to be 6 inches apart from each other on center. So from here to so from here to here should be 6 inches. Then at the front here, you also, so it's not just connected there, or well, it's not just supported there, it's also supported here. This is the like hard plastic weather strip that goes the full length of the van, and it's not part of the door or the ceiling. It's like, this is the strongest point on the roof, which is why the OEM roof rails are attached right there. So this is a strong point, and I've got this block that matches the curvature of the roof here with some foam underneath it just to protect it. And that is super tight on the roof with some upward pressure, keeping it like very taut. So you've got support there, and then also up here, you've got a ton of support. I would say equal support as back there. So really from here to here is still going to be a pretty strong area of the roof rack. And then at the front, I used a 2x4 because I needed to screw these brackets in, and it just seemed easiest to have a 2x4 here. I originally planned on doing 2x4s as the cross pieces, but these black ABS pipes are so much lighter, and they're UV resistant, they're weatherproof, like it's perfect. And it saved so much weight and just made things completely precise. But then at the front here, I've got this 2x4. It has a carriage bolt that's connecting it to the Unistrut right here. And then you can attach a lot of other things up at the front here if you wanted to. You know, screwing into wood is super easy. Everything else you're gonna have to have like some sort of bolt system, but whatever you want, you could screw in. So this is my mega deck, as I'd like to call it, and it really transforms this minivan into an SUV, which stands for Sport Utility Van. That's what I like to call it. And it makes this vehicle just so much more capable of anything you want. I don't know exactly what's gonna go up there yet, but I know anything I can think of, I can probably do. I could have a spare tire, I could have gas cans, I could have roof boxes, anything I can think of, I will be able to put up there. And I trust this thing to last basically the length of the vehicle's lifetime. The pipes are not going to, they're gonna be fine. The Unistrut's gonna be fine. The 2x4 at the front, maybe I'll have to replace that. The air dam, I could see that needing replacing. But as long as you get a good waterproof paint on there, it should be good too. So there's just so much that I want to do with this. And hopefully if you want to build this, I'll probably have in the description of the video, kind of like a order of operations of how I put this together, because it took some iterations of like, this has to go on first, then I can put this on. So I'll try and explain it better, and I'll probably make another video in the future showing exactly how I built it. But for now, this hopefully is enough to inspire you to want to make something with Unistrut and ABS pipes. I think it's a great combination. I haven't seen anyone do it. And another thing I forgot to mention, the trunk can still open at the back completely unobstructed. So that's not an issue. I think that's it. Yeah. Okay. Thanks for watching.